National Football League on EA Sports, where we'll see a brawl inside the AFC North. It's the Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
The kicker, Dustin Hopkins, set to get this one going. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. They'll start out here with the option left. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd down and 8. Jackson from the shotgun. A slant route caught by Bateman. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Now Jackson. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Ravens first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
It's a nice job hitting him on the angle route there. Come out of the backfield, cutting sharply across the middle. And that's good timing between the quarterback and his receiver.
Effective 3rd down play to move the chains. Here's Jackson to throw. That's complete. It's Zay Flowers with it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a pickup of 11 at a Baltimore first down. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory. And that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or a play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
Well, sometimes despite the best planning, the defense actually has a plan as well. And they blanketed everyone on that play. They were able to close it down and spill in for a loss.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Ronnie Hickman knocking it away that time in coverage.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. DeAndre Carter back deep. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. So here are the Browns under head coach Kevin Stefanski. They'll be led out by the former Colorado Buffalo, their rookie quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Sanders into the hands of Cedric Tillman. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
2nd and 14. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Adafe Owe showing off the pass rush skills.
In every game we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 5 yards, and that means they come up short as they're going to have to punt here on the opening drive.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off. And looking for Andrews, but this is intercepted.
Picked off by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. They had him back deep, got the interception, and now they start inside the 10.
Partner forgets starting inside the red zone. They're inside the green zone. From the 10-yard line in, a lot of teams call it that because that's the money zone. Get it into the end zone and make your cash.
2nd drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense.
And they start in the best of all positions, 1st and goal.
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Operating from the gun. Sanders. Touchdown! A 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the Browns are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore.
Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. It's up and through to make it 7-0 Browns. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
And now here come the Ravens.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8.
Slot man moves right. Now Jackson taps his forward jet sweep. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
Out now is a punter, Jordan Stout.
The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Now Sanders throwing to start the drive.
Pass caught. He's got Tillman.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Back to throw. Sanders. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the 1st down due to the previous penalty.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Here's 3rd and 9.
Looking to throw. Sanders.
That is caught. And he is going to have a Browns 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. That's his first catch of the game, and an impressive one against multiple defenders.
And how about that start? Really aggressive. Yeah, there was double coverage out there, but that didn't stop them at all. They went right at it and defeated it on that play.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. The slot man in motion right.
He'll get it here on the jet sweep.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there, a 22.
An excellent run there coming from out wide.
And we used to consider these jet sweeps to be gadget plays or something a little bit unusual, right? But now most teams have some version of this play in their playbook. And I think it's a lot because of the receivers that are being developed nowadays. These guys look like running backs even though they're playing out on the perimeter.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
He'll get this complete to Tillman.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Back to throw. Sanders. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Again, he'll drop to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. And that'll be enough to keep the drive moving forward. Another first down on the pickup of 5 yards.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal.
I like how they worked the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Back to throw again. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That's a pretty play there. Got in at the last second, helped force the ball free, and kept them out of the end zone.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
He's already scored once. He definitely had his eyes wide open trying to get in there a second time, but I thought that was a really nice play defensively to deny him.
Yeah, it was, as you said, keeping him away from his 2nd first-quarter touchdown there. They'll run here on 3rd and goal. And this time he is in.
Yes.
A great play there with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter.
And the Browns lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game.
He's showing the different ways he can hit you in this first quarter. 1 rushing, 1 receiving touchdown.
He's showing us he's not just a stereotype, isn't he? Not just a guy who carries the ball out of the backfield, can get out into space, make plays with his hands downfield. That's a pretty good combination right there.
Defensively, you'd prefer to be going against the stereotype, wouldn't you?
At least you know where he is, right? That gives you a chance to get more people to him and get him on the ground.
Hopkins with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. So that drive spans 13 plays, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Hill shedding the tackle.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. To throw is Jackson.
That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end.
So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Here's Jackson. His throw incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1. The decision is to decline it and not give him the down back.
They might as well have sent a skywriter above the stadium saying, we don't think you can get the first down against our defense by that decision.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football as they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be 2nd down. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Sanders now off the play fake.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
On 4th down on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. Fielded just inside the 20. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession.
And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive, but at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer, and make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay.
2 yards to go, 2nd down.
They'll try the right side with Henry. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. Know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
In motion left goes a tight end. Now it's Jackson. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
Well, when you're down a couple of scores like this, CD, you can't afford too many plays that go in the wrong direction like that one.
Yeah, when you take a good look at it broadly, sacks are better than giving up an interception. But where they are on the scoreboard, they've got to get rid of all of that and just create positive plays for themselves in order to have a chance.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Great coverage there, holds them to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Throwing to start the drive. Sanders.
This one complete to Jerry Jeudy.
Oh, he faked him with a juke. Now he's got some room. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
We know play callers can be very creative in this game today, but sometimes when they've got receivers with speed like this, they don't need to design incredibly complex calls. Sometimes it's just get the ball in his hands and let him do his thing. In a sense, less can become more, and it was right there.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Now we're at the 41, 2nd and 9.
Looking to throw. Sanders. Johnson with a completion over the middle. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Trying to barrel up in there, but I don't think he got it. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down. Nothing fancy really on either side. They were just trying to punch in between the tackles, but could not get it done.
That felt very old schoolish, didn't it? Because we always talk about how we spread it out on offense nowadays and try and create some running lanes. That one was really tight. Go get it. A big pile of bodies. Didn't quite get there.
Here we go on 4th down. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that, but by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down.
So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
From the 22 now, here's 2nd down and a yard.
Operating from the gun. Sanders. And incomplete.
That time he was looking for Jerry Jeudy.
And it's 3rd and short. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on 1st down.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped them, bringing up 4th down.
Here's Dustin Hopkins now to try the field goal. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. Hopkins' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So 3 points there, and they continue to build this first half lead.
Yeah, every little bit helps, and the more that you can put together drives and start controlling the tempo, controlling possession, finishing with points, the better off you're going to be.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Throwing is Jackson.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Well, after incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, it certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on 3rd down.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. They bring a man off the corner that time, and he gets home for a loss of 6.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking, but to me it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yeah,
run what you do best.
Exactly.
Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
From the 43, it's 2nd and 3.
Back to throw. Sanders throwing middle, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to his tight end, David Njoku, and it's 3rd and short. Looking to throw. Sanders
able to find Tillman. He's got it. And he is going to have a Browns 1st down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3.
So how would you describe that one, partner? Workmanlike right there, getting that 1st down, blue-collar type football?
Yeah, only needed 3, got 4, just enough. I like workmanlike.
I think it's pretty cool myself. Everything doesn't have to be high glamour in this game.
And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play.
So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. They work now on 2nd and 9.
Operating from the gun. Sanders. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens 33. 19 yards there on the catch and run. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 down at the 33. Back to throw. Sanders. He finds his man, complete. It's Ford. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
They'll look to throw again. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
Now a 2nd and 10.
The handoff to Ford up the middle, and they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Looking to throw. Sanders. And that is incomplete.
Yeah, offenses always try to be smart about when they're trying to dial up a screen to the running back, because they understand you can only go to the well so many times in a game without the defense starting to anticipate the call.
Here's Dustin Hopkins now to try the field goal from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Hopkins' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So this lead, Charles, just continuing to swell here in the first half.
Well, it's interesting. When we talked to them prior to the game, they told us that their game plan was take no prisoners, and they've lived up to it so far because everything has worked. No guarantee that'll continue, but all in all, this coaching staff's got to be very pleased by what they've seen.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Ravens offense back out there. They're in a bit of a bind, a pretty big bind, down 20-0 as they start here on 1st and 10.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. Veteran running back like him, we've seen a lot of those chunk carries in his career.
And that's why you don't just look at his birth certificate and decide when a guy is done, right? Because you know as well as I do, in this league, as soon as you hit 30, they're looking to let you go if you're a running back. Sometimes there's a little tread left on the tires.
Jackson now. Throwing the out route and complete. It's Hopkins. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That's good for a Raven 1st down, 15 yards there.
And this may be the one to build on right here. It's the 2nd quarter. They've got nothing on the scoreboard as of yet. They need to put something together, and this is a good start as they get the completion there for good yardage and a 1st down.
They go play action now. Jackson
looking for Bateman. He's got him complete.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. A 9-yard pickup, just 1 yard away from 3 consecutive 1st down plays. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Jackson. He finds Hopkins complete. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a 1st down. Now it's Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. I know when you got a top tight end like this, you want to get him involved, but when you do, you're hoping for more than that.
You certainly are. You've got to try and get him some space where he can make a play downfield, or at least an opportunity for some rack yardage, right? That run after catch.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. Now Jackson. And the catch made by Hopkins. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Took nearly the entire first half, but a first red zone opportunity for him here. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Here's Jackson to throw. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half.
Second down and 6 now.
Again, Jackson. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson from 17 yards out.
And the Ravens are on the board here in the final minute of the first half. Well, that was all Lamar Jackson all the time on that drive, both through the air and in the end with the touchdown run.
Yeah, how about him doing things a little bit on the reverse side there, Brandon, because he softened him up throwing the football and opened up the running lanes. And when he gets a little bit of a sliver, he's gone. And that's exactly what he did there.
Now the try here for the point after. That is good, and that'll make it 20-7. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Browns offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he's had things all his way in this first half. The numbers sensational as he'll look to add to them with another drive here. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Already enjoying a 2-score lead here late in the second quarter. Not a ton of time left. We'll see if they can work this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 to add on even more to their lead.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
This short pass into the hands of Njoku. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. This time they stay on the ground. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. So we come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Browns with the lead. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, but we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side could play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Browns offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And he's had his fair share of troubles in this one, unfortunately. This defensive front has wreaked havoc throughout the contest, and he hasn't been able to create enough space to make something positive happen to this point. The Browns drive about to get started. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it. But I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities. And I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Sanders from the gun on 3rd down. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Good, clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get them off the field with a 3 and out.
The Browns send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half.
And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave them with a 2nd and just a few inches left.
Off the option, here's Henry.
And this Browns defense coming to life. They get him behind the line for a 2nd straight play. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Ravens first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
They bring pressure there on 3rd down, but this is a nice job of picking it up and making sure their guy has time to deliver the football. And they wind up getting the first down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and it'll be 2nd down. Play action. Now Jackson. And this will be caught at the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. They give him a gain of 37.
That's the kind of play this offense desperately needed. They've got to be saying, our defense has kept us in the ball game. We're down, but we're certainly not out. And maybe that was the spark that they've been searching for.
Kevin Stefanski consulted with his guys above, and they've told him, throw that challenge flag. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. From the gun, Jackson. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Jackson from the shotgun. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Ravens are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
And they'll try the option on 1st and goal.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Back to throw. Jackson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? From the gun, it's Jackson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
And this one is right through. And that cuts into the deficit. It's now 20-10. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Brandon, that's what you call being manhandled at the point of attack, and I know the offensive line gets a lot of blame for that one. But occasionally, the defense just knows what you're going to do. Maybe they scouted it perfectly. Maybe someone tipped it off. But on that play, it had no chance.
That's caught left side by Judy.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there.
Third and 9 here.
Looking to throw. Sanders. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
The Browns send out their punter now. He's been terrific so far. It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
2nd down and 4.
A toss left. Henry. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Off the option, here's Henry.
They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive alive.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a 1st down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Off the option, here's Henry.
And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Nice satisfying run on 1st down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
Tenth carry now for Derrick Henry. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And he will have the 1st down as he's brought down up near midfield.
And what a weapon to have when you can use your quarterback as a short yardage runner and pick up 1st downs.
2 1st downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. To throw is Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
Second and 9.
Running from the gun with Henry. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8. They go play action with Jackson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is the big fella.
He's to the 15.
And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for a Browns TD. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that, and that's what they've done all game long.
On is Hopkins now for the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Ravens offense and Lamar Jackson set to take over once again. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets. And it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today. The Baltimore offense at the line set to get going. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. So no gain on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Flowers. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it'll be 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
The Ravens send their punter out now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt.
Cleveland offense making their way out.
And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
And that's going to do it. Clock hits zeros. They're not going to get another playoff. Time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Back to throw. Sanders.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Browns 1st down, and comfortably so, as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard.
They didn't need much. They didn't get much. But what they did get was enough for a 1st down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Joel Bitonio, one of the steals of the 14 draft, the culprit there. Following the penalty, they'll go back to the run game.
He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, go into pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a 1st down.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away.
A big kick, 50 yards that time with a return of 4.
Ravens offense getting set and ready for this next drive. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest.
And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now it's Jackson. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here.
And they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable 4th quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery.
To throw is Sanders. Following the fumble recovery, he'll throw. Looking for the end zone.
And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on.
I see what they were trying to do there, trying to find some dead space in the middle of the field and take their shot right there. A really good idea, but it winds up incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He finds his man Johnson. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Oh, he shifts past him. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they're powering through, and they're controlling this game.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there because there's a sigh of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, That's likely a touchdown, but instead that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right. He had him open, just a split second too late on the release.
That's to the pylon and incomplete.
I like his awareness in the pocket there. Nowhere to go with the football. So instead of forcing it to the sideline, he's just going to put this one into the harbor and live to fight another down without getting wet.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
Looking to throw. Sanders.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
Great defense there on 3rd and goal. They took away everything. Forced him to fire that one to the sideline where no one could get it.
I guess not content to get another 3 here late. They'll try to add 6 more as they go on 4th and goal. They'll try and run for it. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. They gave it to him in search of his 3rd touchdown, but he's denied, and the Ravens come up big down at their own goal line. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
They begin with Henry.
And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
Well, he got what he could there, just trying to move forward and gain a little bit of yardage and create some space. You know the pressure is going to be tough defensively.
2nd down and 8.
Throwing is Jackson. Under pressure, and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety. So a failure there to get rid of the football. I don't know in the end that it's going to matter much here with this game, but it yields another 2 points.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. It may not matter a ton with the deficit that's already there, but like my old coach used to say, it sure ain't going to help.
It doesn't help indeed. After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick.
Here comes Carter.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the 4th quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's a 2nd down and 4.
There they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Back to throw. Sanders. This short pass into the hands of Njoku.
Here now a 3rd down and 8.
Off the play fake. Sanders. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
That is the big fella, Nnamdi Madubuike, forcing his way in. He comes up with a sack.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
The Browns send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And we'll see what he can do on the return. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field.
Remember, they had the safety go against them the last time they had it. Fortunately, their defense just forced the punt, so they'll try again as they start 1st and 10.
Play action. It's Jackson.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Jackson. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20. Operating from the gun. Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. And that's good for a gain of 6. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down.
That is caught. And he is going to have a Ravens 1st down on what will be a big play there on 4th and long.
No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. From midfield now, here's Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. So nothing doing there, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but
yeah,
no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
Jackson now.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. And Jackson throwing once more. And this one is incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The Ravens go for it but come up empty. And this defense will take over right at midfield.
No surprise. They try to throw the ball on 4th down, but it gets batted down. They don't pick it up.
Well, a little football 101. When you're going toward that quarterback, you see he's going to start to throw. Get your hands up, right?
Get your hands up, affect the play, and then everyone get your hands up. When the ball gets to the receiver, moment of truth, knock it away.
And here's a handoff out of the gun.
And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw.
Got a man, it's Judy, complete. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win.
Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry.
And he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front, and a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
But Kevin Stefanski going to take a chance, going for it on 4th.
They'll try and run for it. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Hopkins' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so that you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game in this sequence here. Maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down, call it a day, and try and prepare going forward.
That one into the hands of Hopkins downfield.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game.
Jackson. That is caught. Rashad Bateman.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
18 more yards there and another first down.
Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end, Andrews. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown.
10 yards on the touchdown pass.
And the Ravens have got it back to a two-score game here in the fourth.
You got to figure down by the goal line. This is where a tight end earns his money, in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
Jackson and the Ravens still on the field. They'll go for two.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And he's going to get in for the score. And the lead now cut to 14.
They were so worried about a punch up the gut or a quick pass inside. They didn't take away an easy run by the QB. Doesn't bring them all the way back, but a good scramble there to erase 2 more points from that deficit.
So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this will be recovered by the Browns hands team, and that should just about write a finish to this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And we talked so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Air-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle. Go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now planted.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. From Baltimore, so long, everybody.